When they stepped outside again the next day, the temperature was still way higher than it should have been. Mac didn't have a thermometer, but he guessed it had to be in the high 40s, low 50s. That was insane for late December. What the hell was going on? It had something to do with the earthquake, with all the damage the Zagorians had done to the environment. Against overwhelming evidence, the CUS had always downplayed global warming. No wonder, since many of the biggest political donors and lobbyists had been connected to large companies. Companies that impacted the environment in massive ways and that fought tooth and nail against stricter regulations. Mac's own father had been a climate change denier, calling it propaganda from the liberal media. Brainwashing. Mac had always had his doubts about that theory, not that he'd ever voiced them. In his mind, the evidence was too overwhelming to ignore. But was this crazy high temperature part of the broader issue of global warming, or was it caused by whatever the Zagorians had done to the Earth? No matter which it was, the consequences were the same. Though he supposed that, in the second case, they might have some hope for reversal in the long term. If the cause was global warming, they would need decades, if not centuries, to recover from what mankind had done to the Earth. Either way, this was seriously messed up. And if these temperatures lasted, it could lead to all kinds of problems, losing their meat, only one of them. Are we good to go? Austin asked. Mac turned around, then nodded. As risky as it was, they had no choice but to find out if the aliens were still around. How about you, baby? You good to go? Austin asked Tan. Yeah, and no kidding. It really is warm. I'm sweating already. This heat feels strange, very unnatural. Mac had to agree. He couldn't put his finger on it, but more was off than the timing of this warm spell. It wasn't even sunny. The sky was gray, oppressing, kind of like it looked before a summer storm hit. He shook off that thought. They had to focus on their safety now. Okay, let's go, Austin said. They left enough kibble and water out for Newt so he could survive for a few days, if necessary, and Austin had reopened the doggy door in the kitchen. They'd close it again when they came back, but this way, Newt could at least go outside to do his business. And though they didn't say it, it would also give the dog a chance at survival if something happened to them. If they never came back. The slushy snow made walking hard and slow. The only advantage was that they weren't getting cold. In fact, within minutes, they took off their jackets and tied them around their backpacks. Mac had refused to leave everything behind. If someone happened to stumble upon the ranch, they could lose everything. So, they'd brought the essentials, their weapons, medical supplies, and some of the lighter foods. Look, Austin pointed to his right. A big crack had opened up in the earth, the snow on both sides of the gap melting into it. We'd better be careful where we walk, Mac said, and his stomach rolled uncomfortably. How long would Earth be able to withstand what the aliens had done or were doing to it? They'd always warned about the big one coming to California on the San Andreas fault line. The earthquake that was feared to level LA and more. But with how things were going, it might very well occur here. One of the many things that seemed too impossible to consider, yet was frighteningly real. Mac kept scanning his surroundings, noticing with relief that Austin was doing the same. They spotted 2 more cracks, but so far, no evidence of anyone else around. That was good, at least from a safety point of view. No signs of bots either. Did that mean that the Zagorians had left? Hope glimmered at that thought. Walking was slow and arduous, and Mac estimated that the first 2 miles took them 2 hours. He was about to say that it couldn't be much farther when he saw something in the distance. What was that?